All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, let's talk about the difference between Amazon Distribution Center, which is also known as the DC, and Amazon Fulfillment Center. Before we jump into that, let's talk about how to get, once you signed up for Amazon and you're trying to get your badge access or trying to get a new badge, how to do that. So, the first week or two, you might not have a badge. You're gonna have to find go into the Relay app support center, and I guess you go to select topic and just click on other issues, and ask them how do I get my badge. So they will probably send you another email that you could send a message to them, and that person will reply you back and ask you to for your information and to take a picture and send it back to them. I got my badge the second week, I believe. So let's jump into it. What is the Amazon DC? Amazon Distribution Center is the big, warehouse where anything that's coming from the DC will be going to the fulfillment centers. So with that being said, a lot of people have been asking me, how do you know if you're going to get loaded or not? So what I have come to realize is, if you're going to pick up from a DC, Amazon Distribution Center, they're going to load you up. They don't have drivers getting into the building. So once you get there, you park, dock in, and you give them the keys, and they load you up. Now, all these loads that are coming from the DCs, they are going to the fulfillment centers, right? The fulfillment centers, you're not going to get unloaded most of the time. You will unload yourself. The reason being is the fulfillment centers is where you will see most of the box truck at nights that are picking up from there. They have access to load themselves. All right, so the DC is the one you get loaded from. And most of the loads that are coming from the DCs, they are going to the fulfillment centers. The fulfillment centers is where most of the drivers pick up their loads to go to the post offices. You will never go from a DC to the post office. So everything is coming from the distribution center to the fulfillment centers. Most of the drivers pick up overnight loads. They're picking up from the fulfillment centers to go to the post offices. So there you have it. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how do you know when do you get loaded and when do you not get loaded? So that's what I figured out. So the post offices, again, if you're picking up, loads that are going to the post offices, you're going to pick up from a fulfillment center, fulfillment centers. Now, what's better? Which loads are better? Well, as you know, the DCs that I have been doing during the day, the DCs to the fulfillment centers, I think those are my preferences, because number one, you get there and they load you up. So that's a plus. Another thing is you don't scan anything. You just get your BOL. So it saves time, if you know what I mean. Because when you go to the fulfillment center and you have a load that is going to the post office, every pallet you have to scan. Now, you might have 8-9 pallets, and then you might have another 25 single packages that you have to scan separately each. That can take a lot of time doing. So my preference is picking up from the DC, the day runs I've been doing, to go to the fulfillment centers, because you don't scan anything. Once you get to the fulfillment center, you dock in, get in there, unload. Most of the time I'm doing right now about 10 pallets, 10-15 minutes, the most you're gonna unload the truck. So I think the DCs to the fulfillment centers are better runs, but they limit it. You don't get a lot of those. So, and another thing is, how do you get those loads? It's going to become a challenging for the people that don't have early access. You're going to have early access to get the DCs to the fulfillment centers, because they post them on Thursday morning to the people that have early access. So it will become challenging if you don't have early access. So the best thing is to try to keep your rate at 100. So that's my thought on that. And another thing is the DCs to the fulfillment centers, they are during the day. Those are the day loads you see me doing. They are Monday to Sunday. It just depends on, like the previous week I was doing from one DC to Trenton fulfillment center, and this past week I didn't see any of those loads, but there was another DC to another fulfillment center, which I'm doing this week. And next week, I already booked up for next week. It'll be from the same DC, going to a whole different fulfillment center in PA. So that's the following week coming up. So every week is different. But again, it's going to come up to if you have early access, because they post them on Thursday, and by the time everything is posted on the board, and most of them are gone. So right now it's Thursday, 2 p.m. and I'm already booked up for the next week, till the 5th or the 6th of April. So as you can see, all those day loads, they be gone by then. So yes, that's why I think that is the better move. So yes, so we have figured out what the DC is. The DC is where you get loaded. You don't have access as a driver. You don't have access to get into the building. You just give them the keys and they load you up. If you're picking up from a DC, you are dropping off at a fulfillment center. So the fulfillment center is where all the drivers go to pick up their loads to go to the post offices. So that's that. Now you know what the DC is, what a fulfillment center is. If you're picking up to the post office, you're picking up from a fulfillment center. You will never be picking up from a DC, because you don't have access to get into a DC. And they will never load you up to go to the post office, because you have to scan every package out from the fulfillment center, and you have to scan the package once you get to the post office. What do people do when they have 2 or 3 stops, 3 different post office drop-offs? So you pick up from a fulfillment center. Let's say you have 2 stops, 2 different post offices. So what you do is you kind of gather your packages, you look around your packages, and you see that, the first drop off, the first post office is the last one to scan. So you scan the second post office, so that goes in the truck first, because that's the second stop. So you don't want to scan the first stop last and put it all the way into the back. So you're going to have to take the stuff out to take that out. So if you have 2 stops, you want to scan the second stop first, then you put that in, then you come back to the first stop, then you put that, secondly. If you have 3 stops, it'd be the same thing. You want to scan the last stop first, put that in, you go to the second one, put that in, and you go to the first one and you put that out in the back. So that's that for that. So I just wanted to make this quick video and share that, because I know a lot of people have been asking me, well, how do you know if you're going to get loaded or not? So that's that. So most of the time when you see Amazon to an Amazon, it is coming from a DC to a fulfillment center. They have different codes. You will not know what a DC code is. All I know is the Amazon facilities, they have 4 codes. So it might be ABC9 or ACY8, right? That you will know that it is an Amazon. The post offices have 7-digit codes. So it might be AY something 2311 or, whatever it is. So that's how you differentiate the two. So Amazon's have 4 and the post office has 7. So if you look at a load and it has, it will have the 4-digit code and it'll have a 7. So that means you're picking up from the Amazon fulfillment center to a post office. If it's a Amazon to Amazon, it will have 4-digit to a 4-digit. So that's how you kind of like, know the difference. So yeah, I hope that answered the questions for the people that have been asking, or for anybody that's going to join Amazon Relay, and that's what it is. So if you're picking up most of the day loads, it's going to be like that. Amazon DC to a fulfillment center. So yeah, that was my 2 cents. Which ones are better? I guess you'll figure it out, And another thing, once you get your badge access, if you're going from one Amazon to another, if you've never been to that Amazon, you won't have access to get into the building. They'll call security come, or they'll just call security, and security will give you access to get in. So once you get to that Amazon that you've never been, now you have access to it. So you only need one badge. So I've been to about 5-6 Amazon locations now. So I have access to all of those Amazon locations, because I have access now. Once you get there, your badge will not scan in. It won't let you in until security will give you the access. And once you have access, you're good to go. So yes, that's that. But again, if you're new to the Relay app and you're trying to get your badge, make sure you go to Support Center. Just select the topic as other issue, and just let them know that you're trying to get a badge and who do you get in contact with. They'll give you a name. You send them an email. They'll send you back an email. They ask you for your last 4 digits of social, your date of birth, all the 9, and a picture of yourself, and you'll send it back to them. And once that's in, it might take a week or 2. Depending on which Amazon location you'll go, some of them will print you out the badge. Once you have the badge, that's it. But that process might take, the first 2-3 weeks, once you're starting out. So there you have it. I hope that helped. If you have any more questions about it, just let me know in the comment section. Again, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and we'll keep it coming. All right, it's been real. Enjoy your day and be safe.